Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gems on Vogue featuring Paul Deasy. Actually, together we are the Gem Miners, and I am honored to be joined by my very good friend and colleague, Mr. Paul Deasy, who is an expert in opals. Because, Paul, you are an opal author.
That's true. It's right there over my shoulder is the Opal book. Yeah, it's so funny. I don't know if you recall the last show we did. We were talking about turquoise, right? And I
Yes.
said if I had only one gem to sell, it would be turquoise. But I said that's not my favorite.
Right.
My favorite is opal.
You're right, it is. And I know, and you've told fantastic stories of opals and all this. And actually, I have to credit you that you were the first to bring Ethiopian opal when we used to do Shop HQ. And you were actually the first to bring it to air. So I congratulate you. You did a great job on that. And you still do, because we both love this gemstone. Because, Paul, tell them, how unique is this deposit?
Well, first of all, it's incredible. Uh-oh, I got a phone call coming in on my, so I hope you're not hearing that. I'll turn up the ringer. Anyway, the deposit was discovered not that long ago, and I had only known Ethiopian opal as something that was more for like collector stone. And I have a black Ethiopian opal that was in a piece of rock that I've had for years. And then I discovered this, I want to say it's around the turn of the 2000, 2005, around there. And I saw some of the most beautiful material. And I'm going to make a long story short. First of all, I would have never guessed it was Ethiopian opal. I didn't think that they made a gem grade suitable for jewelry. But then I saw it with my own eyes. But you can attest to this, well, just with the earrings that I had. The play of color is very, very visible. And most of the Australian opal that I've dealt with over the years, and I own a lot of it, it doesn't photograph very well. It's a doubly refractive stone. And so the best way to actually photograph it would be underwater. But for some reason, because of the play of color in the Ethiopian opals, it photographs beautiful.
It does, and for the money, the amount of money that you're paying for it, the deposit is so rich. You know, we're talking about, of course, the famous Wello mine deposit, the quantity of opal that's coming out of it, and the consistency of quality. I think, quite frankly, it's spoiled the world as far as play of color opal, because you're right. Previous to this deposit, when you went to Australia, those opals cracked. These virtually do not crack. The play of color for the money is literally outstanding. I mean, we've been spoiled. This opal is literally world class.
It's still incredibly underpriced. I mean, I can't stress enough the value that we were offering even before we were coming direct from a factory compared to what you pay for the equivalent in Australian opal. No contest. This beats it every time.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Speaking of value, we're going to start off with our first item here. This is going to be a great Gems on Vogue ring. And this ring has a great chevron, ladies and gentlemen, effect on it. And it's set with faceted Ethiopian opal. And, you know, Paul, faceting opal is not that, it's actually hard to do. And up until Ethiopian deposit, the Wello mine, I didn't even know that they could facet opal, because I don't recall in my career seeing faceted Australian opal. But this opal is so well structured that you can facet it and polish. And this particular ring has all faceted opals, going from marquise to pear to ovals to cushions. And you know, when you facet an opal, the sheets of play of color are totally different than when it's a dome, when it's a cabochon. So this is a great piece. And that's another thing you can talk about, that this opal can be faceted.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Don't forget, it's basically a cousin to quartz. So it's not that they couldn't do it in the past. What was happening was, what you bought an opal for was for play of color. It was that phenomenon, and the only gem on earth that has that phenomenon is opal. So they weren't interested so much, but what they found out and I did a cushion cut one time with the Ethiopian opal, we faceted, and you're right, it makes that play of color dance more unpredictably than it might anyway.
Absolutely, it does. I know you've got an item coming up, which is really, I'm just looking at the sheet here. I love what you've got coming up here.
Well, let me show you. And I don't have the fancy extra close-up camera yet. This is my favorite technique that I use when I'm designing with opal. I love to have an oval and surround it by a halo of a different color gemstone, because that opal, while it has the color of virtually every gemstone already in that opal, it will tend to reflect the fire and the color of the stone that you surround. So I've chosen both garnet, which you know I love, and citrine.
Yes.
So these are the earrings. The earrings, I mean, the price is insane that we're doing right now. And remember, these are direct from the factory prices. And you also
Yes.
have, and so these earrings I think are going to be great for everything you wear, but you're also going to have that free shipping and handling. You're
Right.
going to have that 3-year limited warranty. You have no, and these are the stud earrings, are ovals, and our
Mhm.
carat weight on the garnet I think is 0.9 carats
Yeah.
and zero point 0.3 in the citrine. But these are great earrings. Choose the color you like the best, or get them both.
Absolutely. And Paul, I've sold cubic zirconia at these prices. So, I mean, I'm looking at here and I can see in our customers, you can go to gemdubvogue.com. I've sold CZ at these prices. The prices of us doing now, Paul and I, direct to you, the customer. We're giving you better service, longer warranty, lower prices, free shipping and handling on everything $75 and above. So, you know what? It's really the time to buy. But what I love about Ethiopian Opal, the next item I have coming up is this one has two things that I love. First of all, it's a big 14 by 10. And that's great about the Wello mine is that we were able to get larger stones that had great play of color, but this one actually has a carving. And that's something that, again, I wouldn't see a lot with other opals because, you know, when you carve some of the Australian material, it could chip and crack and it would fool around with the play of color. But the Ethiopian opal material is so stable that it maintains that play of color. So we can play with it. In this particular piece, it's a big stone, but it's carved on top of the wonderful hatch sort of pattern. So if you love something really different and unusual, this is a great piece. And again, that price, I know what I used to sell that ring for. That's an amazing value.
Well, I have to tell you, getting a 14 by 10 in an opal with play of color is exceedingly rare. Every millimeter size you go up, the price rises exponentially. I mean, it's a
Yes.
knockout factor because when you get
Yeah.
this, something that big, most of the times when I'm shopping for, you know,
Yeah.
the rough, you
Yeah.
get it in these little jars that are in water. Now everyone says, why they're in water? Because they've got to keep them moist. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's because that's how you see the play of color
Yes.
after an opal would be polished. So that's why they put them in those so you can kind of see what you're sort of buying. But a 14 by 10, Michael, is in an Australian opal would be out of reach for most of us.
Oh, 100%. And I did a show in Australia for 10 years, and I remember dealing with some opal dealers there for their bolder opals, but even their regular white play of color opals, I mean, oh my goodness, the price
Yeah.
per carat of there, are you kidding? I could buy 10 Ethiopian opal for the price of one of yours, and the Ethiopian opal has a better material, better play of color, but it's super affordability. But you know what I heard in the market is that this mine in Wello, it's limited. It's not going to be open for another 10 or 20 years. They don't have that kind of production. It's just like Sleeping Beauty. It's becoming lower and lower, the production. You're seeing it at the shows. So I don't think we have 5 years left on this mine. And
No,
then
I kind of agree with you. And not
yeah.
only that, it's not just that they start running out of material, but they've been cherry picking the best material. So now is the best time to get it because eventually they start doing, you know, it's funny. I played around. Well, let me show you what my next one is. This is the bracelet. And
Whoa.
what I want to talk to you about this bracelet, 9 times out of 10, when I was doing opals on the shopping channels, the bracelets would be 6x4 oval.
Yeah.
And that was just to try and even achieve any kind of price point. You know, to do 7x5s or 8x6s was almost unheard of. These are the bigger stones. It has that locking box clasp, but the silver weight is really what I love about doing, you know, with Nathan Hannick and company with you that I love is I'm demanding minimums in silver weight because you want to have that silver weight and it's really up there with that precious metal sterling silver. But
Oh,
this
it really
bracelet
is.
will, yeah, go ahead.
No, and really, I'm looking at this bracelet of yours. I'm looking at the price point. And
Yeah.
guys, you know, that's the price point of one of my rings. Now, I know, and the bracelets, you know, Paul, you know, the links, they're all hand assembled. The hand workmanship on the
Yeah.
bracelets, it's unbelievable. The one thing with the Paul Deasy collection is value plus no sacrifice in quality of gemstones. But if you want to get a big bang for the buck, I'm looking at this and saying, this is awesome. I know we got a whole show to do, Paul. We got to keep it going, but I got to tell you, it's fantastic. That bracelet is an absolute winner. I think I'm next here with a ring
Yes.
with 3 stones which again goes with the bigger ring that I had. This has carving. Now these have 8 millimeter. Give you an idea of an 8 millimeter stone. It's almost the equivalent of almost a 2 carat diamond in size. You're getting 3 of them, and this goes right down the hand. It's surrounded with peridos and citrines. We chose those color because, of course, it picks up that blue and that green flashes that come out of that incredible Ethiopian opal. The ring is 12.8 grams, and the value that I sold this on TV, and it was at least $125 more than what we're charging you. So the price point here is absolutely fantastic. Again, I've never done an opal in my career that was carved, but with Ethiopian opal, we can do that.
That makes that really a collector's item for the customers, because I have never done one that is carved, and I've done a lot of opal in my day. So that's a really big deal. Before I show you the next item, big question I want to discuss with you is, we are both miners. I've been, and I have not been to the Wello mines. I've been to the Australian opal mines. Right. And what struck me, and I was trying to explain why it photographed so well and why you had such a play of color from pretty much all of the spectrum. And in Australia, you're either going to get kind of a blue-green play of color, or you're going to get the red-orange play of color.
Yes.
Ethiopian opal, we see it all.
Yes, absolutely. And you do see it all. And that's the great thing about it. And the quantity that was coming out was really, really, really outstanding. I love the next 2 items that you've got coming up here, which is fantastic. Because, oh, yeah, now look at this. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, that's golden opal. I love those.
Yeah, these are the golden opals. And the golden opal intensifies that play of color. Now, why does it do that? Well, what's the difference between a white Australian opal and a black opal? Well, besides about $2,000 a carat difference, it's that the background body color is darker, and that amplifies that play of color. Well, that's what you're seeing here. These are golden opals. We have, again, the same halo technique that I use. Your choice of the citrine or the garnet. It's really your choice. You'll see how the garnet, here's the garnet, here's the citrine. You'll see how the play of color, I know it's not a close-up shot, but you'll see one on the turntable in a little bit. That is, the play of color is magnificent. Now, my own little, I want to say my opinion, because I was trying to figure it out. The only thing that I could figure out about why the play of color is so intense and why it photographs so well, and why you get all the colors of the rainbow, because you know, when they take a microscopic picture of an opal, there are these little spheres, microscopic spheres, and if they arrange themselves in a certain pattern, you're going to get play of color. If they don't arrange themselves in a certain pattern, you get something we call potch. This is potch. So it's basically like a quartz type of stone, but it did not develop those little spheres didn't arrange themselves in a pattern. And depending on the size of those spheres, determined whether you got the red, orange, blue, or yellow kind of play of color. Well, I see it in all of my Ethiopian opals. So the only thing I could figure out that was different, and you can correct me if you think I'm wrong, it's because this opal is like 10,000 feet above sea level. So this is in the volcanic ash, and I really think it must be something in that volcanic ash contributing to make the play of color so much more intense than what I see. Because most of when I was at in Australia wasn't that high above sea level.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what the Australian opal has too high of a water content, because under the electron microscope, you're right, you're talking about all those little crystallite spheres, and because there's no water content, the voids are actual void. So when the light goes in, you get that light interference, and that's why the Ethiopian opal, it's so pure. It actually, for opal, formed in a very unusual situation, because it is not, you know, with that trickle down effect, it formed in volcanic ash, which is actually very similar to, and at the end of the hour, we're going to have some fire opal, which actually formed in kind of the same conditions. Again, these are very, very unique opals, and I cannot tell you enough how much Paul and I love the Ethiopian opal. You know, if it wasn't for the COVID, Paul, I had a trip planned to the mine. It was all done. You know, because David's son used to work there. I mean, it's when this whole thing is over, you and I are going.
We have to do it.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful.
Oh, I can't wait to go.
Who's
the next
item, you or
me? Yeah, for me. Then and the next item here, this is very, very, very large. And again, now this is a big 12 by 8. This is classic of the incredible, beautiful play of color. I'm just going to go into, oh yeah, there is my close-up camera right over there. But this is just absolutely fantastic. Look at the play of color of that material. And that's totally clean. For those of you that think that
Wow.
this is treated, it's not treated. There it is. It says all completely natural material. And that is gorgeous, gorgeous pink coral that's surrounding it. You want a girly ring, this is it. It's coming in at 9.3 grams. And I'm going to tell you guys, for the price that this is being sold at, this is an absolute opportunity. This is why Paul and I are so excited to be doing these shows direct to consumer pricing, because we know how much you're going to love it. I'm looking at that price. I know what I used to sell it for.
What was the price of that ring? Because what's the size of that stone?
That stone is a big 2-carat 15. It's a 12 by 8, beautiful cabochon, AAA quality, 14 corals, all gorgeous natural color, 9.3 grams of silver platinum alloy, 3-year warranty. It's just incredible. We love this stone because it really, like Sleeping Beauty, represents, I think for play of color opal for the price, you simply cannot go wrong. The next item, sir, is yours.
And by the way, we haven't talked about this, but it's really, really important. There's no treatment whatsoever to these opals. They are completely natural, no heating, no dyeing, no radiation.
Nothing.
It's not backed with something. And I'm the first to tell you in my opal book, like a doublet or a triplet is not what I call a treated opal, it's an assembled opal. But this is none of that. These are all completely natural, untreated in any way. Now, this is my favorite item of the hour, I have to confess.
Okay.
I want to show you this. I'm going to hold it up because, as I said, I don't have to close the camera for you. Look at all these opals and look at the play of color and how consistent it is. This, if I remember when I got, like, if I had a 6x4 oval in a solitaire and I could get that anywhere near $100 or $125 on the air on a shopping channel, I would be thrilled.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is, I think, the biggest value to date I've ever done in an opal. You look at the number of stones, it's a halo of ovals. It's just ridiculous. I don't know if I'm saying this right. $123.
Yes.
For that much opal.
And it's huge, the ring. It's huge. I mean, I know the ring. I saw it. I mean, whoa.
And it's a classic cluster. If you're not going to get this, chances are you're never going to get an opal.
No, look at that. I mean, it's just, you break it down per stone. I mean, are you kidding me? It's untreated. Paul, you know, how many stones are untreated today, folks? Almost none of them. You know, I can't think I could buy a diamond without being HPHT treated. That means high pressure, high heat treatment. Diamonds are all treated today. Ethiopian opal, nothing, nada. As God made it, that's the way it is. Let's go to the next item that I have here. It's my biggest stone, 14 by 10, Paul, a 2-carat 85. I mean, it is absolutely huge. Now, in an opal, oh, I don't need to use my finger. They supplied me with one of these. Thank you, Eugenia. You take a look at this. Baby, that's a honker, okay? I haven't used the H word, but as far as I'm concerned, that is a honker. I mean, the quality of that, I mean, if you want big, you want pure, take a look at that play of color. This is the one that I would recommend, always with our classic shank, going all the way around 8.1 grams. You just take a look at that. And I love that play of color. It's so clean. It's so pure. Folks, years ago, we used to do Tanzanite shows by the gazillion, Sleeping Beauty shows by the gazillion. Look what happened there. This mine one day will close. It's still open. The deals are happening right here, right now. Between Paul and I, we got the best value anywhere.
I'm going to give you a ringing endorsement, not only of the opals that we're doing, but just Ethiopian opal in general. I have a lot of ties from my time visiting the mines in Australia. And I'll never forget when I first found out about this, and I started, it had to be 10 years ago, on Shop NBC at the time. And when I started selling that, I heard from all of those guys in Australia, and they were mad at me. And this is a true story. They were like, listen, that's not real. That's never, it's a, you know, flash in the pan. And I said, you know what's funny? That's exactly what the Australian miners said. I mean, rather the European miners, opal miners said when opal was discovered in Australia. They said, it can't be real. Not for that price. It's ridiculous. Well, the same thing happened here. All the Australian miners are saying, nope, can't be real, too good to be true. And now all of them have interest in the Ethiopian opal mine. Every last one of them.
They do. They do. I'll never forget, I was at the Tucson show. I'm waiting in line to be served. The person in front of me is the second biggest opal dealer in Australia. She was there with her husband. It's her business. And guess what she was buying? Ethiopian opals by the bags. Yeah. And I talked to the dealer. He says, she's going to take that back to Australia, and to all the cruise ships, they're going to say it's Australian opal. No, it's not. It's from Ethiopia. That's a true story. I think the next items are yours.
Well, actually, this is a choice, again, of my halo rings. Michael, I'm afraid my eyesight must be going. Do you see the price on that?
I'm dying. I know. Is that true?
It's true.
No
and
way.
I have to tell you, I did very early, one of my first items that I did when I told you I introduced it to the shopping channel business.
Yep.
Was a ring just like this at more than double the price, and it sold out every time. Can you say that price?
The price here now that ring is and that's item number 10. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Is that can't be? Is that 55?
Yes. It's an honor. It's an
My
honor.
charms or more. You're killing me. I'm telling you, his collection. And are you kidding? The stones, 50. If you don't throw that in the basket, what is wrong with you? Are you kidding? It doesn't get better than that. I think that's the best ring you've ever done in your life for the price. That's a crazy price.
And we don't skimp on anything. It has remember I always talk about, I want that minimum metal weight because you don't want to be able to pinch your ring. This is incredible. So choose either the citrine halo or the garnet halo. Yeah. Just get one of them. And if you don't find your size, remember sizes 5 through 12, which is a big deal. If you want to get a size, nominal fee. Yep, nominal fee.
Right. And by the way, Paul, when they're ordering, when they call Jennifer, if they, for example, if we only have size 10 left and you want a size 11, we'll size it for you before we ship it out. You want a 10.5, we'll size it for you free before we ship it out. So that's not an issue whatsoever. But you have something else that goes with that, I think. You got item number 11 too. I see what's coming up.
Yeah, I think if this is the one, let me make sure I'm in the right place.
The three stone ring.
Yeah, the 3 stone.
Oh, I love that ring.
This is my favorite.
Oh yeah.
This is crazy because what it does is it's really elegant on the hand because of the lengthwise way that it runs. The play of colors great. We had some fun with the textures on this. Again, a very generous silver weight for you on this. This is another great place to begin if you've never had an opal.
That is an unbelievable place to begin. Your prices are outstanding, to say the least. Absolutely outstanding.
The only downside, Michael, of the halo rings that I showed you is that you have to buy something else to get the free shipping. That's how cheap it is.
Which is crazy. You take a ring like that doesn't even make the minimum for the free shipping. It's like, are you kidding? No, because we're giving it away. No, it's unbelievable. And folks, I want to say, because I know the stones, they are everything you expect from Mr. Deasy and more. Every stone is perfect. I know, I've seen them. It's done right here in the factory. It is absolutely perfection. Paul, and by the way, Paul was here picking those stones. We flew him up here. He was here. So he did all the work. That's all his, by the way. Yep, it's all real. It's fantastic. Well, now we're going to go to one of my favorite, fire opal. Now, fire opal, Paul, and I know, Paul, in your book, you did a really, really, really good section on fire opal because, opal sometimes can be just one color, and fire opal is one of those. And this is fire opal that comes from, I think, is it in, what's that state in Mexico? Is it Jalisco? You can probably pronounce, because they pronounce a J with an H or something. I'm from Canada.
Yeah, it's really interesting, the mines down there, because what they do is after they mine it, they just let it bake in the sun for like a couple of days. And that's how they're curing the stone. So there's really no treatment to this one whatsoever either.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this is a very big stone. Now, I want to show everyone that, the stone is untreated. It's a carat 10. Most of the fire opal comes out, it's kind of like orangey, and I'm going to go here into the shot there, show them the orange there, but this is red.
Beautiful.
This is, they call this the cherry fire opal. And I'm going to tell you, I used to get product like this from a German dealer, Jürgen, great friend of mine. I've dealt with him for years. My cost on that stone, if I went to him, and he's a top German dealer, he specializes in this product, would be double what I'm charging you for the ring, my cost on it. For 154, this is an outstanding price. It's that red cherry fire opal, non-treated from Mexico. It is an absolute delight. And if you like that, I also have, no, the next one is yours. I'm sorry, sir.
Wait.
There are earrings to match that, but you've got the next item.
Don't get off that yet.
Okay.
I want to talk about what you have, because that cherry color to me is the most rare of all. You know, the orange is sort of the given, but to get that deep red cherry opal, and it's so funny when you travel all over the world, because I always called fire opal the opal that came from Mexico, the opal that they have some in Brazil as well. But when I got to Australia, you know what they call the Australian white crystal opal? They call it fire opal. So we just have to confuse everybody. But the Australians call the white crystal opal fire opal because of the fire that's in it. But that is a steal to get that kind of cherry for that size.
Yeah, I know that size, and it's great. It really, really is. It's a fantastic stone. I love the world of opals. You have an amazing item coming up here. Okay, you've got now that price of this coming up, it just makes the minimum, by the way. That's how good value that is.
This is, again, I got to hold up to the.
Oh, look at that. I know.
That flash of color on there. This is like you could call it a cross inspiration, but it's a vertical and a horizontal, and it's really just a really simple, elegant ring that you can put on your finger. And the other great thing about the opal, besides the fact that it's not treated, it's one of the few things that I can say without question could go with every single color that you wear. Because just like I said, the halo will take on the personality of the stones around it. Same thing if you're wearing a black shirt. It can look different than if you're wearing a blouse that's blue or purple. That's the power of the play of color in these incredibly fantastic Ethiopian opals. Completely natural.
Absolutely. And the fact that it is attainable at these prices, rarely in the world of my 40 years have I seen stones that are that good, that are really in their variety the best, and they're at the lower price of material that's half the quality. That doesn't happen, you know. I mean, it's like normally, you know, you go to buy a Mercedes, it's not less price than a Chevrolet, you know. In this case, it is. It's like we're buying Mercedes, and you know what I mean? And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, and it's rare in the gem kingdom, and we've become spoiled. We become spoiled because we've become used to this, folks. You know, it's our last few minutes together, but I want to just end it with, and you're right, Paul, the quality of this fire opal. And you just take a look at that rough there. I mean, look at these incredible crystals here. I want to just show everyone, these are fire opal earrings. So if you pick up with that ring, and there it is. There is the rough right over there. It's kind of hard to see there. There it is, right over there. But that's all natural color, and this is exactly the way that it's found. One day, I hope to make a trip to Mexico to actually visit that mine. But this is a beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that color. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
That's fantastic.
You've got here carat 90 total weight in gorgeous dangling earrings, silver palladium alloy, non-tarnishing. And once again, the value of these earrings, I lift up my hand. I can't believe these are coming in at under 145, which is fantastic. Folks, free shipping and handling, 3-year warranty on all product from myself and Paul Deasy. Check out Paul's entire collection at gemologist.com, and you'll see myself and his picture for the Paul Deasy collection. And it's amazing. And what I love too is that our prices are always good, Paul, and they're consistent. It's not like it's one price when we're like on air here, and then it goes to another price on the website. We only have one price. It's fantastic, and it's available all the time.
It's always going to be the best price you can get. It truly is. I have one more item before I get to that.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the mining process with opals, because they're usually, especially in the Australian, even though these are at a higher elevation, they still have to dig deep into the mountain to get this stuff.
Okay.
It's still pretty primitive. These mines are in the most inaccessible areas on the planet. So I can tell you from experience, and if you go to Australia, Australia is the size of the continental US, and it has about 22 million people in the entire country. Very few of them are in the center of the country. It is excruciatingly harsh conditions, especially if you go to Cooper Pedy, for example,
Yeah.
The whole town is basically underground. You're living in caves to escape that heat. When you try and get to the mines, and I remember we went to Uluru, which is called Ayers Rock by us locals, and then we had to drive all the way down to a place called Lamina Station. And when they told me when I was on my way there, they said, it's not a question if you're going to get a flat tire, it's how many you're going to get. There's one paved road in the entire center of that country, and once you leave that, you are on roots and rocks and everything else.
We have just 60 seconds left, Paul. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
All right, so I get crazy talking about mines with you, man. This is my last item. No, this is not the golden opal. This is more the traditional white crystal play of fire opal. Try and go a little bit closer for you. Absolutely gorgeous. This is another stupid price.
Yeah. Below the minimum.
8 5x3s.
Yeah.
7.6 grams of metal, including the chain, which is included. So that's an 18-inch chain that can be adjusted to 20-inch. 7.6 grams of metal. This is $64. If you've ever thought, I've got to try the opal, this is the one.
I know, absolutely. Paul, you're amazing. I can't wait for our next miner. It's an honor, Paul. Thank you.
We can't do 30 minutes. We just can't. We have too much to talk about.
I'm going to work on something a lot longer. When this COVID is over, we're going to get together in a live studio. It'll be great. Folks, thank you for joining Paul, Deasy, and I. Join us at our website, and we love you both. We'll see you next week.